Pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora and the world at large. Friends all. Today, I wanted to say a lot of things. But before I get into that, I want to send my condolence around the world where there is famine, flooding, war uselessly, where politicians from Bangladesh to India, from Pakistan, all the way onto the African continent, and now I get to understand China and Russia's coming together, flying plane over Alaska. This nonsense have to stop. We, the new generation, must not be responsible for the past generation. The same thing I speak about Guyana. And I am tired because I have both race in my blood. Indian descendant and African descendant. Also, I have other nation blood in me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am tired with this racial slaughter. White man slave us, black man no good, and the brown man you can't trust. Well, I don't know who they're talking about, but common sense tell you growing up in it. When you hear black man, you know the African descendant. When you hear white man, you know the European descendant. But ladies and gentlemen, I have been to 87 countries. I don't come island. I am still looking for a white man and a black man. And if so be the case that there is one, you must have a yellow man, a red man, a green man, a blue man, and you must have a purple man, an orange man. But how long you cannot find that? We are all man in the image that God says He creates. I create man in my own image and likeness or whatever. But I'm not coming on a religious background to speak on behalf of my fellow human being like that, but I am making some comparison. I have seen birds with different feathers, colors. I've seen parrots, macaws. I've seen, you name it, all type of birds. I see some birds so red that an apple is second to it. I see some birds mixed with so many different feathers. But what we associate them, they're all birds. We see it in fowls. We got Dominican. We got different names for them. Ladies and gentlemen, we, the modern generation, have to come up with this nonsense. There's no such thing as a white man and a black man, because you will have to bring them and show me to convince me. We are man, and God said it, not me. So therefore, I want to touch the most important ground to the great-grandchildren out of Africa 100 years ago, and the East Indian descendant from India 100 years ago. Why modern generation have to answer the call every time? If you are an African descendant, you go to the European country, you say the white man owes you something, reparation. You want reparation for your great-grandparents' supplement. But you are inheriting it and you don't know. You know to read and write. You are scientists, doctors. You name it, you are a great musician, great soccer player, and basketball player, hockey. You name it, you are great runners. You run the Olympic and you are always first and second. You run the marathon in countries and you always win it, especially if you are from Kenya. Because you're born running from lions so you could run past any other race, because you're born with that running spirit. And the reason for that, the European as the white man got you running in their country, the marathon. In America, Canada, England, or wherever you win it, they made a bloody foolish mistake. They always pass the marathon next to where there is a zoo. So when the lions smell the great-grandchildren of Kenya, he grown, they fly like a kite because they're accustomed to that. So he could never win you because that is a mistake. But I'm not getting into that. Whether you accept it as a joke or not, think of it. Why are we today in the 21st century, the white man in slave our ancestors, when modern black men today have child mother and the woman have child father? I watch y'all animals, dogs, cows, sheep, goat, and other animals, etc., etc. Let's come up with this primitive nonsense. But I want to come down straight. I, George Corai, with my son Snow, have a project in Guyana, in London, Canada. The East Indian descendant, the most covetous, the most vindictive, corrupt thieves in the face of God earth. I don't know between the Jews and y'all who are worse. The Jews learned from the great Adolf Hitler they will never make it happen again. And I respect them wholeheartedly for that. Never must a nation suffer like that. But you, India, you fight for land. You go out to the voodoo man to destroy your own family to get what you want. There are stories in Queens where they're putting the old grandmother in the street of America. When you do it in Guyana also, and you call upon Bhagwan, Allah, Jesus, you hypocrites, come up with it. No wrong you done will live with you. You must suffer more, and your children will inherit your corruption and your sin. Now it brings me back to a great thing. We have opposition from the NDC at Craig. They gave us permission to build a road with the government, ministry, and everybody from the road way down going to the Lama because an Indian bastard named Mohalal blocked the road, the egress and egress road, and stated he died. Well, I the 1/6 into the Demerara River wide from shore to shore, Burmese and Essecubo. Come on, Ali, can you sell me that? Come on, Indian people. You go to Uganda, they put out all of you because of the same effing corruption. Greed. Anyway, y'all go, there is trouble. Anyway, Burma burning y'all out. South Africa beating y'all out. And you, the black race, out of Africa. You are very racial due to what you read and what you heard. Slavery was a business. Today we are modern slave economically. Slavery had a price to pay. The Bible spoke of slavery. Some of the prophets were sold as slaves. One brother could interpret dreams that he was welcoming to the house of the Pharaoh, one of them. And then his brothers was a famine. They were looking for grains, and he welcomed them and gave it to them. They were surprised. Sometimes the stone you reject does be the main stone. I'm a rejection. Today in London, Canada, we are building a scheme called the Amazon Housing Scheme. Why we come up with that plan? I told Anthony Snow, choose some decent, honorable Indian and blacks, whoever, and sell them the house part. And we use the money to build a road when we've been paying taxes for all them years and the NDC doing nothing on government. This is what I call legal bandits. If you don't pay, they take your place. And you still pay and you're not getting service. From Bernard time to Jagan time to Barrett time, all the way through to Mr. Ali time. Now they give us permission to build the scheme. According to information, the people got to get the transport so they could pay the tax to the government. And I was made to understand that the place have to be up to standard. I agree. We build the best place in Guyana as a housing scheme behind the bush in Canaan. Even though we met with so many opposition from Indian who bring black people in NDC and in government to hold our project back. But let me tell you all here today, by the will of God Almighty, Bhagwan or Allah, many of you got sorry. Your children shall crawl on the street. Y'all gonna run mad, what my mouth. I don't thief, I don't sell drugs, I don't want nothing from people. I am a man love to give. I cannot live alone. I don't believe in servants. I had a problem with one of my brother. Marry a Hindu girl and bring shit to the family. And don't get me wrong, I come from all the religious sector because God make man make religion. And if you call it Bhagwan, one call it Allah, and one call it God, it's the same body we are praying to. So what is the problem? But poverty have many roads and many steps. I make my brother marry the woman, bring her into the family, Amanda Beju. I'm telling you straight here. Her father by the name was born in Beju. I even buy him a car to take care of his family. He used to tell me, I am not his daughter, father-in-law, when I've never done them no wrong. And he keep with me. And I wish him so help me God, and just how I wish him. Go to Baggerstown Lottery and find out. I said you shall flatter, and before your breath leave, you will call my name. It was so long after it happened. Another one. And I wouldn't mention the name. Good friend of mine, he was a photograph man. Taking picture, Indian, you all are grateful. But I learned everything I had accomplished in life was done from the African descendant race, not the Indian side of my family. Oh yes, the Indian side do a lot of good to me. I will never make it. I am a devil. I'm an outcast. I don't know my father. I don't know to read and write. I am uneducated. Me and garbage is no difference. Indian, that is what y'all did to me. But the decent one, the honorable one, like the black people, you stand the corner and you watch. But who the Lord bless, no man curse. So let me make it clear. All of the ministers in Parliament, all 65, who giving us a hard time, your days are bitter than numbered. And y'all will crawl before you die if y'all continue. Y'all was elected to do a job. Y'all are not kings and queens and emperors. Y'all are hired and you can be fired every 4 or 5 years. That is why an election was created. And for you, the believers, Muslims who believe in Isa, and who believe in Muhammad, and you, the Christian who believe in Jesus, election begins on the day of the trial of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, as you all say. When Pontius Pilate, and I keep repeating because y'all feel like y'all are dumb. When Pontius Pilate take out a whoremonger, a drunkard, a gambler, a criminal, a murderer, against an innocent man named Jesus of Nazareth. And he risked his life because in them days Rome could have cut off his head and exile his children and his wife and feed them to lions. But Pontius Pilate's wife used to follow the crowd and she heard what Jesus said. She should tell her husband, this man is innocent. He's a peaceful man. Oh, the businessmen, like the Indian businessmen, they bribe the poor, less fortunate, uneducated. And most of them happens to be you, the black people, because you keep yourself down that way. For 235 or 36,000 of you, 70,000 to 80,000 is educated, very honorable. They are in America, England, they are actors and actresses. Pilots in the military of America, women. While Guyanese women talks plenty, humiliate each other, curse each other, and love the obeah man. Friends, y'all may not like it, but I have a picture going back from the Ramatar government presidency, where a meeting was called in Brooklyn, and I attended. I was the only mixed race straight here, and one Indian mixed with Amerindian. Everybody else there was a descendant from Africa, and they were there well dressed. When the table with some distinguished person who sit there, all of them today, I might say in Parliament. I think Mr. Norton is the leader of the PNC, and I also was made to understand that Mr. Nigel Hughes now is the leader of AFC, and he also was there. It's alleged, I can use alleged, but when the picture show, you will decide who they are. And I think the woman who is alleged, they say accused, Norton. I don't believe in all this accuse and refuse and don't accuse. I believe whether you use or you don't use, dispose of. I have nothing to do with it. But that picture tells a million words. So gentlemen and ladies who sit on that chair in Brooklyn on that crucial day, when I grabbed the microphone and challenged what they were talking about, Mark Benchcroft stand by the door and said, take the microphone away from George Correa. Ladies and gentlemen, some people got to be careful in this world. I, George Correa, we don't need political power in Guyana. We were born there, thank God. But there was another nation there, 9 tribes, called the Amerindian, the Bokman and the Bokwoman, the indigenous nation who ruled by 2 dangerous nations. Friends, Ask all the Indians if they could remember when the last boat arrived at Mahaica and Maikoni with the Indians, immigrants from India. It was 1918 or 1919. And ask my black brothers, what year was the Demerara uprising, which I think Kofi and Chrissy was involved in. I would give the number to that. You all let me know. Look at my hands. We are clean. We had a lot of wrong done to us. My son was locked up, beaten naked by an African descendant, a woman. I would use the word black because I'm talking to the educated, not the asshole. Okay? She beat him naked. Maybe she had wanted to see his private parts. Okay? And she didn't even give me medical if she had children. May God curse her generation that they must crawl on the dust that we walk on. And also the one from East Coast. Today, I must tell you when wrong done to us, if a tiger bite me, must I say it's a rabbit? If a snake bite me, must I say it was a mice? No, ladies and gentlemen. If an ant bite me, I can't say it's a centipede. I got to say what it is. You two major race. And I call upon the Guyana government, ban emancipation. And if they come out in large number in protest, arrest all of them with their family, send them back to Ghana, and everyone arrive, bring 10 into the space. Because the children of Ghana are much more educated and want a chance. Even Nigeria. Even though they got a lot to talk about computer fraud, and that have nothing to do with me. Because the biggest thieves live in Guyana between the two races. Y'all are not doing it by computers. Y'all are doing it because of bullyism and guns in your hand, and police who are your friend, and politicians, so you are free to kill, rape, and rob. And let me tell you something. Everybody have your name and who you kill. And everybody have a price. And when an Indian hire you to kill, he handed down to you somebody who handed to another 100. So where you are going, ladies and gentlemen? Where will you go? Tell me. And if a politician thinks that's the same thing, I've seen the news. Paper Shots was actually killed a year ago or maybe under a little while. What happened to the black police officer, what's his name, that was talking about it? Not that we don't know where he is, nobody finding out. What happened to Brian Max? It seems that when you oppose these politicians, your days are numbered. So I call on the U.S. government to enter an investigation into Guyana because America put us in it and they have to take us out of it. All right? And England must also make a stake, take back the country, because you cannot give independence to somebody else who don't born and grow there and still claiming India and Africa. One claiming the day of arrival, the other one claiming emancipation. Send them back home. And for everyone that arrived in the country that the ancestor came from, take 10 for everyone. So, you all could say that I'm corrupt and racial. How could you tell me that you're back in emancipation and coming up with an excuse? You're celebrating your ancestor past, but you turn your back on your mother and your father. You bloody hypocrites. Come on. And then you turn back, have sex with your sisters, breed them, I don't even want to pay support, and you are talking in civilized world about slavery? You need to be put to the wall, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you all may not like me, but every crime that was committed against us, we will sign to it. If we lie on you, take what we got and kill us. But if you lie on us, must we leave you? Answer it. There will never be peace in Guyana if the two races don't come together. Now let me tell you, friends, for a number of years you tried the PNC was racism and little corruption, and a little coolie with them. And Jagan was the advisor to Burnham. Ask Nagamutu. He said it in Queens in the meeting. It's on video. Like I have the audio of the meeting in Brooklyn. I'm only going to put the picture for you all see those guests. I'm not going to release what it is. So for all who are sitting on the table, contact me at this number, 347-340-2628. And let's talk, because I have the audio. I won't say what it is, but all who sit there, I don't think that You all are fit to rule a sheep pen, a cow pen or a hat pen, with what I heard that day and what I have on audio, with a lot of them voice. And all who were sitting on that table from the chairman right back, tell me, he said, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. Can a man cut off his foot and ask another man to fetch him? Or will he jump on one foot? When he got two, he can't stand straight. Or he can stand straight on one. Friends, I'm going to give you the power because we got it. And don't make a mistake. Venezuela wants 60% of the country. My name is Correa. My family is Vera. We will mention much more because you Kuli people are very vindictive. When Digar joined with Barnum, you uneducated Indian, from Herstelling to Lenora, from High Flat to CI, all the way to the East Coast, Mandrapo and all of them, going up. Y'all beat up the drivers in the DIA truck. Y'all do all kind of things and you cost the Portuguese. It was not for the Portuguese, the black people that killed all of you because you were backed by America. John F. Kennedy. Dean Ross was Secretary of State. Find out. Ask TUC, the 80-day strike. Okay? So let me tell you all something. You got good and bad in both ways. Let's unite. Elect a leader who's concerned and passionate for the development of the country. Not one who takes envelope and the table. We have another incident. I am waiting. We have another incident. Some Chinese arrive in Guyana on tourist visa or whatever. And according to information, they have to pay 400 US for it. Papa Snow tried to get some of them to come into Guyana to invest with us to help Guyanese. And the visa take a long time. It costs 25 US. They give him today and cancel it tomorrow. Listen, Mr. Ali, President, and Mr. Barajak, your Vice President, and Mr. Nandalal, please look into it. It's a violation of human rights. Why other race can come in and Sue could say he bribed the Vice President, it's alleged, but we don't take bribe, but we want development for the people, better hospital, better clinic, better school, and to give them a break. And people are trying to hold back your government. Check the Home Affairs Minister. And if so be the case, change them. If not, I call upon America, Canada, England, the UN, and CARICOM to start to work together for a sanction against Guyana. Y'all may not like it. And remember these words. We are decent people, but the people who's behind us, they are not so decent. My friends, they are nice people. They are willing to develop. But if you make an accident, we will have to investigate it. Because this is how you all kill people. Drive-by shooting, poison, accident, and if you go to the hospital, you're dead right there. So we will buy none of that. And all 65 members of parliament will have to answer with a lie detector test. The police commissioner, the DPP, and every station, the man and woman who in charge would have a lie detector test. And I'm calling in the United States Embassy and all foreign embassies. Any police officer, military, must take a lie detector test before you give them a chance to come into your country. Especially in your country with so many crime all over, you cannot bring other people with the same disease to mix with them. God will not take a sinner into heaven unless he or she repent. Now if those police officers take a lie detector test and said it failed, you ask them, what they do make it fail? They must be honest. If they tell you George Correa paid them to beat and burn and kill somebody, then they must make it in writing and you sign it. And then you might consider them because people could change due to frustration. And that is how the politician got the people hungry. So if they give them an extra dollar to get a car, the wife will look nice, they kill for them. And the corrupt will leave businessmen. But the decent ones stand aside. Raj Kumar had to move out of Guyana. Ricky Singh had to leave to Barbados. Because soon you open up your mouth, the black people were born them had to go beat you, broke up your house, all kind of thing happened to you, man, rape your children, your wife. And to you black people, you said that lie, they got destroy you all immediately. like Moses with the commandment, if you can't live by the law, you must die by the law. But I am nothing against nobody. So I'm calling on the president of Guyana, Mr. Ali, please examine our case, examine the wrongful prison, and examine the Canaan development. They say that the place have to be healthy enough, but cooling people by graveyard and put parking lot for sell car and build house where the dead, African dead, rest on the East Coast, going down to the East Coast, going up from Georgetown, a big car park in a cemetery. But is that healthy? I hope them cars driven out one night by the ghost, you Indian bastards. And I said it without an apology, but you decent Indian, honorable. God bless you and keep on your legacy. Same goes for you, the black people. But remember these words. We all came into this world for a short time. Whether you all kill us, we all have to die. But where are you going after? Will you get my life? Take Gary Smith. Who's alleged killed Rodney? When I told him about the man, he didn't listen. He said, Brother Karaya. I said, Doc, when he came to my house, be careful with this man. He said, Brother Karaya, I know my people, they're ready for a change. Chong that I grew with after Chong family, he said, leave him alone. I leave Guyana in June the 8th or the 10th. Couple days after, the man was blown up to pieces in a car. And it's alleged Gary Smith leave Freedom House 2 hours before. So Barnum and Jagan was working together, thanks to Nagamoto. Then Barra Jagdio saying a meeting, and these things is on video, ladies and gentlemen. He said he gave Barnum that to the old back of the garden, and she sold it. How many minutes? And make a good change. What did he give to you? All the black people was squatting from Oka right back. Then I see somebody up in East Bank, Indian and Amerindian, in a house. They're breaking it down, taking the people out, and calling them squatters. Well, Mr. Ali, Mr. Vice President, Mr. and Attorney General, and DPP, we are innocent. And if you are a Muslim, as you say, DPP, and your husband is an imam, may Allah bless you if you do the right thing, but if you do the wrong thing, then you crawl before your death. Crawl, and I said it in the name of Allah. May you crawl for the wrong things, for locking up wrong people, because of money and political thing and the color of your skin. Come on! If a black woman was sitting there, she would have think they're friend, or a black man. Tell them I tell you that. Because black people not easy to buy over. Only the hungry belly one. And if you call yourself dressing like you come from Saudi Arabia, I hope you're not an Arabian disguising as a Guyanese. Because the Arabian is the biggest killer with African children, raping and killing them in Saudi Arabia, the land of Prophet Muhammad. Peace be unto him. I want if he come back, he begin looking at your face. I may have to live a soul. Come on, I'm not accusing you. So don't turn it and twist it. But every crime you all commit against us, we shall get our justice. And if you go to Saudi Arabia, Idi Amin was a Muslim. He didn't like what the Indian was doing in Uganda. I was mad with the man until I heard the truth. And as a Muslim, he stand up for certain principles, even though they accuse he eating human being, but I don't know if he was eating them, why he didn't eat his secretary, his wife, and all the bodyguard. So these things don't bind me. After he leaves his country, Uganda, and went to Saudi Arabia with all the money, how long did he and his son live? He died in Saudi Arabia, it's alleged. Could it be that the Arabian who's a bigger thief than him kill him? Come on. Friends, everything is up to you. Think, I'm not your enemy. Jesus come unto this world to preach the truth and to tell you to come out of your deeds and your sin. Moses came on the world, he could have been the king of Egypt, in the Pharaoh. He decided to get put into the wilderness. And he led the Jewish people out of bondage going to the promised land, Canaan. Unfortunately, we have our place in Canaan and can get documents when the people buy the land and we take the money to build a road when it should have been the government expense. If we didn't build a road, Mr. Ali, Mr. Barjagdio, we would have got to fly over with a helicopter or a plane. Hypocrites, and you all putting on suit shaking hands? Come on, May Allah hear my cry and Bhagwan and bring an end of darkness to all of you who are corrupt. I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm looking to see what y'all doing. And those Chinese that y'all reject, remember Chinese was in Guyana too. Portuguese, not only Indian and black people. Okay? Because the Amerindian and the mixed race like me, we born there. We can't run to 4 other countries. We can't go to Portugal and claim it. We can't go to China and claim it. We can't go to Europe and claim England and France and Dutch. And we can't go to Africa and claim it because you have got tribal problem. Every village killing, every country killing one another for land and water. When will you all stop? It is not the white man in Africa now. It's not the white man in India. India divided because of religion. Hinduism versus Islam. And nobody said, and not a parasite to society. India is only for Hindu. So all you Hindus should go there, you Muslims go to Pakistan. And leave the Christian in Guyana. Because we don't want to go to Israel now to see what's going on there with the innocent slaughtering. Friends, I urge all in the name of God. Okay, you see I can't see that. Thank you all for listening. And I am your host, George Correa. Thank you.